The following is a conversation. It has the features of any conversation, such as imperfectly expressed thoughts, ill-considered opinions, and the notions of several sleep-deprived brains. Try not to get your stethoscope in a twist about it.
I love when this episode comes out. It will be Valentine's Day. So I want you to look into the future. Did you do anything special for Valentine's Day? Or did you stay home and smash?
As of I'm going to speed past that. As of the time,
if it will be smashed, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
As of the time this
Jeff is like,
gets
why
released,
am I here? I'm literally human resources.
Yeah, I should not hear this.
Gonna be okay there, Phil. As of the time this episode gets released, no, because there's an exam that Friday.
Oh.
So
That's just
the weekend
rude.
after, yeah. But like, we also have like MSTP stuff for iHeart Science. So your
Jeff,
girl's
does the College of Medicine not believe in love? Is that the problem?
I'll pass on that.
Okay.
Need to get you a big sticker that goes like not speaking on behalf of the Carver College of
Yeah,
Medicine.
that might be good.
Yeah, we are on Tuesday's always date night, so we decided that we'll go out to dinner on Tuesday. But at Aldi, I did find some lobster tails, so they're in our freezer currently.
Oh,
So that's probably what we'll do for we'll defrost some lobster tails.
love that.
Yeah.
We, in the last few years, have kind of adapted to just not like celebrating holidays together with like getting each other gifts or going out to eat.
Have you been separate from each other? Is that the situation? Or are you
no,
just like,
it's
no,
been
this
more-
we don't care anymore?
It's been more of a like we've had something big that like we're saving up for something, and
yes.
so like we're getting married this summer.
Oh.
We have a big house project that involves lifting our house up and
What?
digging a whole new basement, and so we're kind of just like our ongoing gift to each other is home improvement project.
Okay, that's and you're getting married, so I guess
Yeah.
I guess that's love.
Meandering in the margins of medicine, it's the Shortcoat Podcast.
Weird news,
Fresh views
helpful clues, and interviews.
by students for students.
Subscribe to our weekly show at theshortcoat.com.
Welcome back to the Shortcoat Podcast, the show that gives you an inside look at medical school from the students drinking from that fire hose. It's a production of the University of Iowa Carver College of Medicine. I'm Dave Etler, but that's not important right now. With me today in the SCP studio, she's a lover of all things MD PhD. It's Faith Prochaska.
Howdy.
Her heart belongs to the preclinical curriculum. It's N1 Taryn O'Brien.
Hello.
She popped the question to neurology. It's M1 Fallon Jung.
Hello.
You didn't really. You took an exam today. I know you're.
I did. Yeah, I'm feeling actually a little
She's
sad about I think neurology broke up
rejected
with
you.
me.
And joining us for the first time on the show, it's my beloved colleague, the Director of Student Financial Services, Jeff Emrich.
Hello.
Jeff and Taryn, you both new to the show. Taryn, we'll get to you later. But Jeff, you've been around OSAC for many years in several roles. Tell our listeners more about that. Not because they care, but because, I don't know, it's just something to talk about.
Oh, thank you. I spent 13 years in curriculum, coordinating curriculum for the preclinical, and then left for a couple of years and have come back now for the last 3 years as Director of Financial Services, which also has a sidelight of human resources.
Jeff looks at me significantly. And you're an actor as well.
I have my moments on that, yes.
Jeff made me watch his commercial recently.
I did force him to watch it.
I loved it. Jeff was a cowboy in this commercial. So.
I got to be a cowboy in a casino commercial, yes.
Oh. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for agreeing at the last minute pretty much to be on the show with us today.
Thank you for asking.
And the reason Jeff is here, I love to know more about you guys, you med students in your lives. And sure, I could just ask you questions to do that, but that's too basic. And I am not a basic B.
You are not a basic B.
Instead, in honor of the most manufactured holiday, Valentine's Day, I asked your significant others and mine to answer those questions. Let's play the Just Married game. Here's hoping that this does not generate a copyright strike on YouTube. I have no idea if it will or not. It seems unlikely. Yeah. So, Jeff, why don't you explain how this works to our contestants today?
All right. So here's how this works. We sent your lovers questions about you, and they sent us their answers. Will you get their answers correct? Will they match? Let's start with you, Faith. What's your partner's name and how long have you been together?
All right. My partner's name is Alan. We have known each other probably 1.5 to 2 years and been together coming up on a year now.
Right. So, if you were an animal, what would they say that your den, nest, or lair would look like?
I am a green girly. This is a podcast, but I'm wearing a green shirt. I frequently do. There would probably be lots of green everywhere. I would probably like find garbage or something that was green. Well, if I'm like an animal in the forest,
Oh,
like,
okay,
where do I
right.
have access to green things?
Garbage.
What?
Fair, totally fair.
The look you gave me.
No, I was just like, garbage. What?
Well, if I'm like a bird, where am I getting things? Birds can't go to Menards.
Trinket. I think it's trinkets. You would find
Shiny things.
Okay,
gewgaws. I think
that's better.
Yeah.
Little trinkets. Probably lots of green thing, but then also just I am a color-coded kind of like organized girl, so there would be spots for everything, but probably lots of like green thematically.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's
I don't know, Dave.
Let's see.
It's a weird question.
Let's see what Alan said about you. Are you ready?
No.
These are not straightforward.
If we're an animal, her nest would look immaculate. Let me tell you.
Oh.
Her nest would be the most like verdant, dark green color that you can imagine. Like she would go out of her way to go like pick up like the most dark green like twigs and sticks and leaves that you can find to make the nest. And then I think the best part is I think that she would go out and find all of these like little colored sticks or like pieces of junk on
now
the
wait
ground
okay
Pieces of junk
to make like a
Garbage
color-coded
junk.
system within the nest so that she could take all of her little nest trinkets that she gets like from being out and about and have them organized by color in the nest.
Okay, I would like to say
did you compare answers before
every part of me so desperately wanted to check notes beforehand and just like not get wrong answers.
That's the med student in you.
Yes.
Yes,
because-
you don't want to have wrong answers.
Yeah, because there's a little part of my brain that goes, this is a game, so therefore there's winning. So therefore, I need to know the right answer.
Okay.
That was a conversation Alan and I had where he told me, that's crazy and not the purpose of this, and we won't be doing that.
Thank you, Alan.
Very good.
Well,
Thank you, Alan.
We went to Menards together once and just wandered around and like discussed things, so.
Okay.
There's no better way to find out about your significant other than a long walk down every aisle of Menards.
Yeah, if you know someone at Menards, please sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, not a sponsor, but hey, we're open to it.
All right.
Yeah. We got to pay for this shit somehow.
It's not coming out of my budget. Sorry. Fallon, it's your turn. So tell us a little bit what is your partner's name and how long have you been together?
My partner's name is Zach, and we've been together for like 5.5 years, I think.
And
the first question then
well,
is...
Faith and Alan have set a high bar.
I know. I don't know.
Maybe she shouldn't have gone first, but yeah.
I'm a little concerned now.
So what would your den, nest, or whatever look like?
I think that it would be very cozy, probably somewhere between a den and a nest, but I hate the cold, so maybe like closer to a den. But I also really need light, so maybe some den windows. And unfortunately, like when I'm not focused on cleaning, I am a little messy, which is why like I have a specific room where my office is where like I just put my mess until I'm ready to deal with it and I can just close the door and Zach doesn't have to deal with it.
That is a fantastic strategy.
So it does work really well for us.
For sure.
So yeah, it would be really cozy and it would be clean, like very clean periodically, but like maybe a little bit cluttered. But not in a bad way.
But Zach is a clean freak.
Zach
guy.
is very clean.
Okay.
He's very, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Zach.
If your person were an animal, what would their den, nest, or whatever look like? Now, this is a very interesting question, to say the least. I had to do a little bit of thinking on it, and my thought was that she would be a baby kangaroo. Fallon is constantly saying that all she wants is cuddles or to feel like she's in the womb and just wrapped up in as many blankets as possible in a dark setting. So I guess that's what comes to mind as a baby kangaroo. And if maybe not that, perhaps a domesticated dog, because I know our dog is certainly spoiled and sleeps sandwiched in between us at night. And I could not think of a cozier, more childlike state being bundled up than either of those two.
I think you're really
neither can I.
On the animal.
Yeah. But also there are elements there that I think we can hang our hats on as far as like being like cozy was definitely a vibe.
Definitely cozy, yeah.
Back in the womb.
The warm thing, yeah. Yep. I do love, I love that.
You love the womb. Who doesn't love the womb?
That's why I fall asleep in cars so often, because it just bounces me.
And he mentioned dark, which was not.
That I heard, and I was like, but it's okay. He also knows that when the sun doesn't come out for like 2 days, I get very sad and I cry. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
Jeff, as a quizmaster of the show, would you say they were in substantial agreement, or?
Well, I think coming out of the womb is coming into light.
Oh.
So I think the light aspect can be there.
Oh, that was very generous of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Taryn. So tell us your partner's name and how long have you been together?
My partner's name is Alex. We've been together 10.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're the dreaded high school sweethearts.
The dreaded?
Well, I mean, it's one of those, like, you hear that and you're like, oh yeah, you've never, like, you just, you jumped right into, like, dating that person and didn't try anything else. And I'll have you know, whenever he first asked me out, I didn't respond for a solid 24 hours because I was like, Taryn, you don't do this.
Oh, well, that
you
counts.
don't date in high school. Like, you have your life planned out. But then tables kind of turned and I didn't let him get rid of me ever. So
ever?
No, he's been stuck with me. I told him whether he wants it or not. So he finally like accepted that. So we're getting married this summer. So he's accepted the reality that he truly is stuck with me.
Amazing. Well, all right.
All right. So what would your den, nest, or whatever look like?
Blankets everywhere. It would definitely be a cozy nest or den. Knowing me, there's probably going to be an insane amount of husky hair and huskies down there.
Is that by choice?
Yes, it is. Because I can't go anywhere without my children, Dave.
Okay. How many huskies are we talking?
I have 2.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, okay. I was like, oh, the hair from one husky, not enough. Let's add another.
Hair everywhere.
Yes, yeah. And if I had my way, like I'd probably also have the horse in there, and maybe the ducklings we're getting this spring. So lots of animals and warm blankets.
Where do you live?
And plenty of snacks. I live. You
don't have to give an address or a town or anything. But
I live on 411. No, I live on 3.5 acres. So I have. Don't worry, I'm not like in a downtown Iowa City apartment illegally stuffing a farm into it.
I think we need to have a podcast field trip. It sounds like ducklings, horses, dogs.
Oh my!
I'm inviting us to your house.
That is okay. You just might be put to work depending on when you show up.
What would be the best time to show up where I didn't have to do any work?
Here's where you lie.
Yeah. Let's say a Saturday afternoon when the weather's really nice in the summer.
All right. All right. We'll be there. All right. Well, let's see what Alex said.
I think Taryn spent enough time in stables at this point that it's really the only answer that makes sense.
I don't think.
I mean, I should have known better. He did disclaim and say, I'm not sure what the vibe is for this show, but I hope that they're okay that I just straight up roast you. And so
that is the vibe.
That kind of sounds on par.
Tracks.
He's not wrong, minus the fact that when it's cold, I really limit my time out in the barn or stable. But I mean, he probably is thinking more, if I were an animal, I would probably choose to be a horse.
Okay. I guess it's my turn.
David, it is your turn. Tell us about your partner and how long you've been together.
Christine and I have been together since 1998 or 9. It depends on which one of those things is correct. Neither of us can exactly remember the year we were married, and we haven't bothered to get out our marriage license to actually figure that out.
What month were you married in? Was it like
August 14th? That is our anniversary.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't even close to the new year or anything.
So we know that.
Yeah. Oh.
We know that. We're not the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. Actually, my wife is much smarter than me, but she still does not remember the exact date we were married. Or at least we have to kind of go back and forth a little bit before we figure it out. And then we forget again. That's 25 years, I guess that makes
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of fair. I still have to pause every time I tell someone my age because I just stopped caring after
The further
25.
out you get from these milestone dates, the less important the actual date is and the more important that the milestone actually happened is. That's my defense.
That makes sense.
You've got the part down that happens every year.
Yeah.
So
That is good.
that's important.
Yeah.
And the month.
Yeah.
And the month. Yeah. Well, my first child was born the day after our anniversary. And we had planned to go camping on our anniversary. And as far as I know, our camping equipment is still at the campsite because we ended up having a child. And we never went back.
It's going to be an archaeological dig site someday.
People are like, are those guys still here? What's going on? All right.
Now, if you were an animal, what would your nest, lair, or den look like?
My nest would be immaculate and well decorated and full of light, and so maybe like a birdhouse or something, like a modern birdhouse. That would be my ideal nest. Yeah.
Architectural Digest birdhouse.
Yeah.
Would you have one of those fancy Ring cameras on it? You know how they have those on new birdhouses where people can
I have
see
cameras on my house now, so I guess, yeah. I guess it would be that. Shall we
see what Christine?
Shall we find out? This feels incredibly risky. I'm sorry I'm putting you through this.
If my person were an animal, he would be a budgie with a funny name, and he would live in a very bright cage that had 100% simulated sunlight for 24 hours a day.
She's making a reference here. When I was, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, when I was in high school, I won the science fair. And my science project was the circadian rhythms of budgies, parakeets. And what I did was, my experimental design was I had 2 budgies in cages. They were subjected to either 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark or 24 hours of light. And, I had hooked it up to my computer so that I could tell, when they were sitting on their perches and sleeping versus when they were not, or when they were more active. And I won the science fair. And then I went to regionals where I was disqualified for cruelty to animals. Jeff, did we get this correct?
I was thinking outside, but the cage inside is the only thing I would think would be a little bit different. But yes, I think you got it.
Okay. All right.
The cage makes more sense after hearing the story. Yes. At first, I was like, oh, does she think you just shouldn't be let out and you just need to be left where you can be under constant supervision? Or
also,
probably true.
It's not completely wrong.
Multiple interpretations.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I think we all did pretty well.
That was good.
Yeah.
Round 2?
Round 2.
All right. Faith. What would Alan say about you?
Just
when you.
That's it.
Well, okay. We don't stop there. I'm sorry. I should not have stopped there. So, when you are making an attending salary, you'll be excited to blank.
Feels so far off as an MSTP.
Yeah, but you fantasize. Come on.
That is forever. Well, when I'm 60, I guess I would be excited to go on vacations and do all of the fun stuff that right now kind of restricted about doing and like can't really do because my life belongs to Carver College of Medicine. Like I chose that. I would stand by it, but it is kind of the fact of the reality. And then I think also it'll be fun. Right now, I am constantly like getting spoiled by Alan. Like out of the two of us, I am not bringing home the bacon. I'm just bringing home like leftovers that someone like ordered for a student organization, and like I took a couple pizza slices. Like,
we're all doing that. I mean, it's even OSAC does that too.
That's what I'm contributing. So I think it'll be fun to kind of turn that on its head and not get to be the one that like gets to do silly little nice things and like spoil the other person because
pamper your man.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be a minute. He's making an investment.
He's in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, let's see what in fact Alan thinks you will do with your money.
Okay, when Faith is making attending salary, I think that she's going to be super excited to be able to travel. I think that she's going to be able to see all of these cool and fun and exciting places. And I think it'll be a reward for her for, you know, putting in all of the hard work to get to where she will be. And I think that she's going to be so excited to come home one day being an attending and see that her partner has showed up with yet another broken down pickup truck that barely runs to get parked in front of her front lawn and then have to get worked on.
Of course. But yeah, I'm not at all surprised he's plugging wanting to have fix up vehicles that just
this could be the way that
never get fixed up.
This is going to be the way that you pamper him. You'll be like, yes, dear, you can go get a rusty pickup truck that
to park in the front yard.
It will not be in the front yard. I'm putting that on the record. They can go in like a separate garage in the back. It's not going in the front yard. It is an argument we continually have.
You'll have to do what Alex and I have is like we've literally have a he shed and a she shed.
Oh,
so there's two sheds on our property. And so it's like we each have our own chaos outbuilding where like the other person has to make a conscious decision if they go inside and see what's happening in there.
Yep. This is the theme here.
That's our offices.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm detecting a theme here, which is separation of every person has to have their separate spots. Yeah. So I don't know.
I think he wants it to be on the front yard though.
Oh,
well,
like, that's intrinsic to it. He likes the vibe of like,
okay.
I can't explain it.
You got to show off your wealth.
Your not working vehicles that you got off Craigslist.
Yes.
Show off your
I mean,
treasures.
one man's broken down rusty truck in the front yard is another man's treasure. So
the vehicle someone else is trying to get rid of because of all of its problems is another thing that someone goes, oh, look at what a deal I'm getting. I know how to do all that.
Yeah. Well, he is a nuclear engineer, so
true. Yeah. And he's got a lot of help from like his friends and his family and like actually getting it done. And
does he actually get it done?
He did. So he's referencing the truck that I famously did not like when it was brought back because he showed up at my apartment quite literally at my front door and was like, do you want to see my new vehicle? And I was like, hi, hello, you're in town? Like, didn't you know that? Also, what do you mean you bought a vehicle? He took the day off work one day and quite literally rented a car to drive to Nebraska to check out a vehicle himself, proceeded to then buy it, and then on the way getting it back from Nebraska, encountered a lot of problems with it. One, that it wouldn't start, so he bought a pair of pliers and like jump started his own vehicle every time.
Yeah.
It also wouldn't fully go into park, so he had to get wheel chucks so that like it didn't like
I see no problems
out of the spot.
I have no notes.
I have so many notes on the truck. They've all been fixed now.
Good.
And so I like the truck. I like the truck after it's fixed. It's more.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a F-150.
Okay.
Like an
older F-150.
maybe.
Okay. All right.
It's got the classic like single like panel of color on the side, but it's just like a nice pickup truck.
Okay.
But he's referencing that.
Okay.
Shortcoats, if this episode is worth listening to this far, it's worth sharing. So blast us on your socials. And if you want a sticker for your trouble, send us a screenshot. Thanks.
Your turn. So when you are making an attending salary, you'll be excited to...
I really love to go out to eat. So But like my favorite thing to do is go out to eat and get dessert afterward. And so like I think I'll be getting a lot more dessert. It's really
you look so joyful at the prospect of this. I don't think I've ever seen anybody look more joyful at the
I also like I probably will buy more ice cream just in my life, like that high quality ice cream, Jenny's ice cream. Ooh.
Yeah, none of this Hy-Vee.
No, I mean that's but
Hy-Vee sponsor us, but your ice cream needs a little help.
Yeah, it's like anyway, that's fine. Other things, I'm really excited to travel. I've recently been like really excited about paying down my loans, so probably like I'm really excited to like max out my Roth and like my 401k and that kind of thing.
I've really been excited about paying off my loans.
Yeah,
that's something. Jeff is happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a goal that I've been working towards. So anyway, those are the and well, I'm really excited also to like set up a house for my family and like have dogs and like have a garden. And, I would love to make my kitchen like really prime because I love to cook. So like, I'd love to have like We're
going with the shotgun approach to this question. To the answer to this question, where you just cast your net real wide.
Well, no, but those are all things that I'm excited about. So
okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Don't limit her.
I'm not gonna limit.
Those are all things I'd do with my salary.
Let women have joy.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Shall we hear what Zach had to say?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be something totally different. Who knows?
When your person is making an attending salary, they'll be excited to blank. Be specific and explain your answer.
I like how he reads the whole question. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a little slow for me.
I think whenever Fall's actually making some money, she's going to be excited, first and foremost, to just say that she's been making some money. And I'm sure, that resonates with a lot of other med students. It's just, you've been a student for most of your life. You may have had, a job for a year or two, or maybe even 5+, but to be in that career and just have a salary is I think what's going to is what is going to excite her the most is just saying, hey, I have a salary. But also,
grade.
I think she's going to be excited to not only have the independence of having a stable job and being able to contribute, in our partnership and in our relationship, but one thing that Fallon really values is giving back and being a good steward of what we have and trying to give where she can. And I just know that as Fall grows in her pay, that she's going to be a very benevolent person. And, that's why I love her and excited for that. Oh, and I would be remiss. This just came to mind, so I am so happy about this. I would be remiss if I did not mention dining out. Anytime we go someplace, like in the van, I was always excited about the event or the hike or whatever the experience was, but Fal was stoked to check out whatever the local food was. So we were constantly looking up diners, drive-ins, and dives, or the best restaurant or mom and pop shop in the neighborhood. So I think Fal's dining out budget would expand quite exponentially. So that would be another response for number 2. When your person is making an attending salary, I'm excited to eat out more, for sure.
I love Zach.
He's such a wholesome dude.
Zach is referring to, he said van, Zach is referring to your adventures prior to medical school and continuing on, I'm sure, at some point when you have breaks.
Yes. Yeah, I'd give that one like a 1 out of 3, probably. I totally was not thinking about the giving money thing.
Yeah, now you feel like shit, don't you?
Paying back your loans is giving.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You got to take care. You do, and I'm serious here, you do have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that is an important part of taking care of yourself as you move on. Mm-hmm. But also, apparently, Zach thinks that you're more giving than you are. So
I like giving time more than giving money, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, time is money.
But then again, I don't really have a lot of money. So anyway, I'll keep going.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Taryn, when you're making an attending salary, you're going to be excited too.
So if I know Alex is excited to take on more of a trophy husband role at that point.
Man.
But
I'm down with that.
That is good.
But I think something I'm excited for is, having my own money. where I don't have to, you know.
Worry about whether the high school romance thing is going to work out.
No, I said he's stuck with me, whether he wants to or not.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be more of a, like, I will feel like I don't have to go through this random, long, convoluted Venmo back and forth path with my mom anytime I want to get him a gift.
Sure.
Because I'm just like, hey, you got yourself this. I do it that way because Alex, he works in IT audit, but like his undergrad and master's is in accounting, and that's kind of like a subset of accounting. So he's in charge of all finances. Yeah. And he'll be like, oh, where was this? What was this charge from this place for? This or that. But if I just like Venmo my mom money, he can't see like where the purchase has been made. So I can still leave it as I got you a gift.
Very clever. Very clever. Remember this, listeners, if you ever want to hide your purchases from your significant other.
That is not a good thing to put on a newlywed show. Okay. Communication is key.
But I mean, like, that's something that I'm looking forward to. But also, and this is probably going to be more along the lines of what his response for me is spending more money on my horses and my animals.
Fair enough.
So,
all right.
Probably having more horses.
Well, let's see what Alex has to say.
When Taryn's making an attending salary, she'll be happy to buy all those ridiculously expensive coffee things that you see on TikTok, like the super fancy grinders or those head massagers that you use over your ground beans.
Explain.
What is a head massage? So I've worked in coffee shops on and off, like since high school, and I'm a big coffee person. I mean, what medical student doesn't love coffee in some capacity? I just also really love the art of coffee. The whole fancy coffee accessory thing when I'm an attending, like that didn't necessarily connect, because I really hope that before I'm an attending that I've gotten him talked into letting me get like the real bougie.
You want the shiny
coffee
espresso maker from Italy.
Yeah, that you like have to literally put plumbing into it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, I mean, yes, if I have to wait until I'm an attendant to get that, okay, but I'm going to hold out hope that I can get it before
Listeners, if you want to roast us for how bougie we are being right now, like, I mean, we're fantasizing, okay? This is fantasy land for us. Just, you know.
Dream big.
David.
Yes.
What would Christine say?
First of all, I will say that this question doesn't exactly track with me and my career. So I'm wondering how she will answer it. But if I was making a lot more money than I am right now.
So after raises go through this
yes,
spring.
After I get my 1.5% to 3% raise, what will I would just want to build that birdhouse that I mentioned before that I live in.
Okay.
You know, that would be the thing that I really want. Or I want a boat, and I want to move into what I fantasize about these days. So I'm approaching, I'm 53, and so I fantasize regularly about moving onto a boat somewhere, like I'm not sure if it would be ocean or fresh water, but it would be a boat, like a trawler or some other,
pontoon.
Not
the fun deck.
Not pontoon. Yeah.
Tugboat.
That would be, so one of those two things I think is going to be her answer. Let's see if she agrees.
Number 2, when my person is making an attending salary, ... First of all, he will never be making an attending salary.
Thanks.
But, if he was, he would be very excited to pay off his mortgage, make sure everything is all set for retirement. And that doesn't really need explaining, does it?
No.
He just likes to feel secure, not into adventure. Financial instability is too much adventure.
I mean, she's absolutely right. We have had a lot of conversations about retirement anxiety. So fair, totally fair. I think she might be more right than me, but I still fantasize a lot about the boat.
Faith, how much do you talk about medical school stuff?
Too much.
And what do you talk about?
Yeah, I probably talk about it too much. I try and limit it and talk about other things, but it is a significant part of my life. I think what probably sticks out to Alan is me trying to teach him things that he has no understanding of. Sometimes he thinks it's interesting.
Yeah.
We usually think it's interesting for different reasons. Like he likes the physics behind stuff because that's what he understands from his background, and I usually end up learning something in that conversation where he talks about physics. I'd probably get excited about something and explain it to him, and then him looking at me an hour later and going, I didn't want to learn about like the enzymes we use for digestion, but like, thank you so much.
Which is the same response that you have for your professors.
I'm going to plead the fifth there. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what Alan says.
I feel like Faith talks about med school stuff pretty much just the right amount. It's definitely not infrequently, and it's certainly not too much. It's just kind of the right amount where I feel like I get to know about her, and I get to know about her day, and like know what's kind of going on big picture, but it's not too deep into the weeds where I feel like I'm lost since I don't have a medical background. And I feel like I kind of get the whole scoop. You know, I certainly get to talk about the academics aspects of it with her, especially when I'm helping her, you know, review for exams and whatnot. But, you know, I also get to hear about what her friends are up to, and also get to hear about what's going on in the lab. And then, you know, I think my favorite part is hearing what sort of aspirations she has for the future, you know, whether that be the coming semester or the coming years, or even what's after med school.
Well, all right.
He was far nicer than me.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, Fallon, how much do you talk about medical school stuff, and what do you talk about?
I talk about medical school stuff a lot. Unfortunately, all of our friends are like medical school related. Even the one friend that Zach found at CrossFit, who we originally thought was unrelated to med school, turns out to be the partner of somebody that we're in class with. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
it's hard to swing a dead cat in this town without hitting somebody who's related to med school.
Yeah, meow.
That's a phrase.
Anyway,
I didn't make that phrase up. I'm not some sort of psycho.
But you used it. I mean, you were disqualified for animal cruelty from your science fair, so.
I feel like we're hitting a theme here.
Oh, dear. Fair.
But yeah, overall, I mean, I've noticed that there are sometimes I'll talk about things and Zach just sort of like glazes over a little bit. I've like tried to show him the memes that one of the guys makes, like, and sticks in our group chat each like before each test, and like I always have to explain them to him though, so like they're less funny then.
Yeah.
He hears a lot.
You might want to stop doing that, I think.
Yeah. He hears a lot about the social aspects. I think the thing that he likes to hear the most though is like my clinical experiences. And I think he always gets excited when I like get to hang out with kids, because I always get excited when I get to hang out with kids. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Zach.
How much does your person talk about medical school stuff? Infrequently, too much, or just enough for you to get the idea without being annoying? I would say the last one for sure. It's not too much to me. I was a kinesiology major, so exercise science. And so I actually kind of geek out over the anatomy stuff, so maybe that makes me biased. But I think Val's really good at like setting boundaries and keeping school at school and keeping family at home, if you will. She's always been good at compartmentalizing or focusing on whatever it is that she's in. So I would say I'm lucky that Val is that way, but I would say not infrequently, not too much, but probably just the right amount.
How would you evaluate the congruence of your responses?
It's true. Like, I think both of them are true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cop out, but okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know. They didn't like totally add right up, but yeah. But they are true, both of them.
Okay.
All right, Taryn, how much do you talk about medical school stuff, and what do you talk about?
I mean, I talk about it pretty frequently because I come home at the end of the day and it's like, oh, what'd you do today? Or more often I feel like Alex is the one asking, but in general, whenever we do talk about stuff, it's more of like the science stuff that we're learning, or more like exam schedule or what my study schedule for the week looks like, just so we can plan like what chores he'll have to take over for me in the evening and things like that. I'm just also like very conscious about what I talk about. If I do find something cool and I bring it up to him, I make sure it has nothing to do with the vascular system. Like, for
I feel
example,
like that's a good policy in general in life.
I mean,
just avoid the vascular system.
well, like the other day I came home after doing a day in the clinic in vascular surgery, and I thought it was super interesting, and I had a lot of fun, and I came home and started just telling him like about some of the stuff I got to see. I'm like, oh, I got to see this fistula and listen to like the blood flowing through it, and I just saw his eyes glaze over. He got really pale, and I'm like, and you don't want to hear
so
about
it's a blood thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And like he has weird triggers for it.
Fair.
And he's gotten better he's had 10 and a half years of conditioning, but
so vascular surgery is going to be in your future, I think.
probably knowing how like things work out, but yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear from Alex.
Taryn doesn't talk too much about medical school. I think she likes to take a break at the end of the day and not think about it for a while. With the exception being whenever we're watching a show and she sees anything remotely medically related, and she has to call it out like she's on a game show. Especially when she has to pause gory scenes and point out why the props don't make any sense, or when they do make sense, how excited she is that they do.
Meanwhile, Alex is growing paler and paler.
I think we match up on the fact that I point out things and explain things and try to not bring it up too much. But in my defense, watching certain medical shows is studying. I was watching a emergency medicine show the other day that was like real life stuff, and a bunch of people are coming in with strokes. We had a neuro exam this week, and I was trying to localize their strokes from it. And
as you should be.
I know. He got up after like 5 minutes because apparently me going on, oh, I bet that's a corticospinal tract. He's showing upper motor neuron signs. For some reason, he didn't find that as entertaining as I did. I know.
Weird. All right. Yeah. All right. Very good. Very good.
Well, you made it to the second break. You tolerate us. If you can, consider donating or buying a sticker or something. Visit theshortcoat.com and help us do stuff without having to beg a dean for money. Thanks.
David, do you talk about medicine at home?
No. And I don't think I really talk about my job at home very much. Not because I don't like my job. It's just like I'm happy to be home, and the huge difference between your lives and and maybe mine and Jeff's is that, we get to go home and not really think about it. Unless there's some reason to stress out, then I will. I still don't think I talk about it, but I freak out. And then she might have to talk me down if I get too freaked out. Mm-hmm. Does that resonate with you, Jeff? Yeah. All right, let's hear what Christine said.
Number 3, how much does your person talk about medical school? Infrequently. Unlike me, I probably talk about medical stuff. Yes. Well, no, not even me. I don't talk about medical school stuff. I'm reading this wrong. So, nothing. Forget it.
I thought she was going to say how so I pick her up every day after work. We ride home together, and she decompresses from her job by telling me about, what's happened during her day. She's a clinical research patient coordinator for clinical trials in cancer in the Holden Cancer Center. So it's kind of heavy. It's kind of like, there's a lot of science. She's the, and so sometimes I'm like, you're going to tell me something in great detail that I will not understand. So
if you had 5 extra hours every day, you would.
I think it's safe to say I have a certain level of neuroticism. So I would definitely.
No.
Yeah. Big shocker there with the color-coded birdhouse garbage. Hate to, divulge really personal information there, but I think I can feel safe saying that.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in this room.
But yeah, I think I would have a hard time not wanting to devote a little bit of that to studying or learning more. Maybe not about our specific curriculum, but doing something else in lab or I would do some of it working, but I would probably spend at least half of it napping. I'm a big fan of naps.
Yeah, baby.
I don't get to do them as much without wrecking my sleep schedule, which then wrecks the rest of my life and is pretty unfortunate. So if I had extra time, I would spend it napping and then being productive because of my nap.
Napping and learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. That sounds great. Let's see.
If Faith had an extra 5 hours every day, I think that she would take an hour for extra sleep, an hour for just like decompression time, bed rotting, whatever you want to call it.
Bed
And
rotting?
then she'd spend the extra 3 just continuing to be an absolute academic weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
An academic weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
You got some like internet lingo in there. Bed rotting is just, when you just want to like.
Oh, I'm familiar with bed rotting.
Yeah. You just gotta,
Dave Etler is familiar with bed rotting. Yes.
I just haven't heard that term used verbally out in the wild before.
honestly, one of the many great things about Alan, but he will take that like thought in your head that like you don't attribute, you've never thought about, and he'll perfectly put it into words of like, I wasn't expecting like a person to say that, but that's exactly right. Like,
yeah. Excellent communicator. Okay, sweet. All right.
Fallon, if you had an extra 5 hours, what would you do?
I would probably study more, sleep more, hang out more with Zach and our dog. I probably would watch a little bit more Grey's Anatomy or cooking shows. And I would probably like read more and like for fun, and or before bed, Zach and I like have this bag of questions that we like ask each other. Anyway, and
bag of questions?
Yeah, that's great. I made it in 2021. But
it's been said on the show before, but Val is very wholesome. She's a wholesome girly. Love it.
Yeah, so probably I'd spend more time doing that too.
Okay. Zach, what do you say?
If your person had 5 extra hours every day, they would blank. That's a lot of time. I think anybody would be excited with 1 more hour a day.
Yeah,
5
you're not
hours.
Not wrong, Zach.
Very pensive.
Yes.
We'll start with 5 hours a day. I was going to say travel, but 5 hours a day wouldn't necessarily mean you could travel because you kind of have to be back within that 5 hours.
You make a good point.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with reading.
Okay.
And writing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Fallon is a very creative person, and she's extremely articulate and eloquent in her writing. In fact, anytime I do any kind of writing, I constantly am pushing it by her first, just so she can put her eyes on it, because she is a really great writer.
Always a good idea.
A writer which inspires emotion and just captivates her audience. So I would say writing more. She journals every night. So perhaps writing more, reading more, learning more trades or talents, if you will.
Electrician.
We're constantly talking about learning Spanish or learning piano. So I think that she would delve deeper into those topics if time were permitting. Additionally, Fallon, as you know, she is in there right now. She is an extremely compassionate and giving person, as I already mentioned, giving, but compassionate. And what I mean by that, she just inspires people to kind of peel back the layers of who they are and open up. And I think she does that by just being vulnerable and genuinely caring about whoever it is that she's talking about or talking to. So I think she would, if she had more time and time were permitting, she would trade familiarity for intimacy. And by that, I just mean, instead of just having more acquaintances or more hellos that are meant genuinely, she would peel back the layers and actually get to know more people on a deeper level if she had the time.
There you go.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Trading. What did he say? Trading familiarity for intimacy. Intimacy. I like that. It's very nice.
I like that wording.
Yeah.
Taryn, what does Alex think you will do with an extra 5 hours?
I would probably spend it like out in the barn, riding my horse, doing projects outside and with the animals. Probably some cleaning, maybe a little bit more studying. That'd probably be the right away. What would I do if I had an extra 5 hours in the day? Maybe added an extra hour of sleep too, I'd say.
Let's check with Alex.
If Taryn had 5 extra hours every day, she would probably spend at least 4 hours braiding her horse's mane. And with the last hour, she would make inedible gluten-free baked goods.
Well, you see, Alex, can't bake anything because we don't have an oven and haven't since we moved into our house last summer.
Why don't we have an oven? We've got outbuildings, we've got animals. We need an oven.
We don't have an oven because the one that was in the house was really nasty, and we're like, oh, we'll just get one from, the store or something. And then the money that we were going to get an oven with, we had to get a new washer and dryer. And then it's just like, it's gone on so long now that we're like, we can put that on the back burner.
Fair enough.
It's amazing what you can do with an Instant Pot.
Yeah.
But you can't bake with an Instant Pot. Not well.
Okay.
Oh, chocolate lava cake.
Ooh. Try that. But he is right about the braiding my horse's mane.
Do horses want their manes braided, I wonder?
So my horse is a dude. His name's Ian. He feels fabulous whenever he has his mane braided.
Yeah.
He's Fabio, essentially. It's like long, luxurious. So
sometimes I dream about having long, luxurious hair.
I mean, everybody's like
literally, I'm telling you, I'll have the dreams where I have long, luxurious, flowing hair.
How long are we talking?
Like, at least shoulder length.
Oh, okay. Thought you meant like butt length.
I don't think I've dreamed that far, but
there's always room for improvement.
I guess if I had long, luxurious hair, maybe I'd like my hair braided. So
yeah,
I mean, wigs exist. You can always
you can try it out.
Yeah.
True that.
I don't know that I want to hear that. What does Christine think you will do?
She thinks I will. I know immediately that she thinks I will stay in bed. That's it.
Stay in bed.
Will
stay
you
in
like
bed.
sleep in
I
bed?
will bed rot.
Will you sleep in bed or you'll be awake in bed?
No, I both. Clear. There's definitely be more napping, but I do enjoy on a Saturday,
just like
not getting out of bed until noon, just like sitting there and reading or whatever. Basically, bed rotting.
Number 4, if your person had 5 extra hours a day, he would take more naps.
Nice.
Full stop. Full stop. She knows me well.
Yeah. I like that she's so sure of herself.
She is, yes.
She knows.
Yes.
All right, Faith. One thing you never do is...
I'm not sure how good a question this is. It's awfully broad.
Yeah, I feel like I can list a lot of things that I never do. I don't voluntarily run.
I like how that's the first thing on
I really appreciate like all of the different like running things that happen at Carver. It's a great like extracurricular for some people. It is definitely not one for me.
That's fair. That's
I will participate in fundraising in an organization. I will not be running. I also ramble a lot. So he might say, shut up. But yeah, I don't know.
One thing you might never do is shut up.
I mean, it's fair. I'm kind of a rambler.
Okay.
I will apologize 30 minutes into a tangent for like going off topic, and he will apologize like 30 seconds in and he's like, no, I'm really sorry. Like that, you're very busy. And I was like, that was 4 words. Like I've went 40 minutes into a tangent and you've sat there and like listened. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hear what Alan has to say.
One thing my person never does is let me win the I love you game. So, Faith, I'm going to tell you I love you the most, and there's no disputing it because now it's on recording.
That's not how that works. First of all, yeah, but that's fair.
Faith is cringing right now. Faith is cringing so hard.
It's a fair thing. It wasn't what I was expecting him to say. I'm gonna dispute the validity of his position there. I'm pretty sure. Won. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like months ago, I sent him a TikTok that was like, whoever's For You page this shows up on like wins the I love you most game. And
I mean that ship has sailed for.
Yeah, in my mind at least.
For Alan,
we continue to go back and forth.
All right.
Fallon, one thing you never do.
I never put dog food in the bowl without washing my hands afterward. I hate dog food.
This may be the worst question I've ever asked.
I just really hate the smell of all pet food. It just really freaks me out.
I'm the same with the cats. Yeah. I have to. Even if I know that I didn't get, contaminated.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's gross.
It's totally like ridiculous, but I can't help it. And then I always make Zach do it too.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to say something nice, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to prepare for a long answer.
Yeah, I know he's a little verbose sometimes.
It's fine. I love it. And it's fine, Zach. That's great.
One thing my person never does is blank. Explain your answer. Huh. Jeez. Man, that's tough because I just think about the things she does do, which is a lot. Never does. You're definitely going to have to chop some of this because I'm just thinking on the fly. Sorry about that, David.
I'll double speed it or something.
Does.
I want to hang out with Zach. I think Zach...
I feel like I've already said this, so it's kind of cheesy, but Fallon never complains.
Okay.
I never hear her complain.
Okay.
It's about his time taken to respond to answers.
You know what Fallon never does? And really inspires me, for sure. Is she never judges. She
now we're getting
meets people where they are, regardless of their circumstances or perhaps excuses or reasons, and she never judges.
Good.
It's something you can really only feel in deeper moments where character is questioned, I suppose. But, living on the road, we came into some precarious situations in places we'd sleep. But yeah, Val gives people the benefit of the doubt and meets them where they are. I wanted to add this to number 6 is one thing my person never does is blank.
Wait.
Oh, Val. David has laid this one up for me, so I am putting it out there for the world. Val is never on time. I hope this gets in her head a little bit. You've given me the platform, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. Val is not normally on time by herself. That is a product of her being one of 6 and having to corral the kids, if you will. But it is something that has steered into her adulthood. And David, if you can magically heal her of this ailment, that would be incredible.
Done. I will say that she's always been on time for a podcast recording. So.
Dave, do you have the seconds of all of the clips that you're playing and just seeing the variety and length? Your wife being so sure, saying 2 words and done.
It's not going.
Here's my answer. Oh no, here's my answer. Oh, I got a better answer.
Zach is doing exactly what I wanted, and Christine is doing exactly what I expected.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's just move on to Taryn. Because I'm not sure Fallon can speak.
Taryn, one thing you never do is.
Well, Alex said he was going to roast me in this, so I'm sure it's going to be something that makes me roll my eyes. So it'd probably be never say that I'm wrong, although I do. I'm trying to think of things like chore things maybe. And
you never do chores.
No, I'm the one who does the chores most of the time and yells at him for not.
Okay, so you never don't yell at him for chores. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's...
We'll go with that one. I never
that
don't.
One for 500.
I never don't yell at him for chores. All right.
Taryn never drinks milk.
That was also a short one. All right. Very good. Not a match in any way, shape, or form.
I was right on the
You never drink milk? I love milk. Are you disgusted by milk, or are you just
Are you
like...
lactose intolerant?
No, I'm not. Like, I love milk products. Ice cream is my favorite food group.
Yeah, but not... You
I
don't
have
won't
like
drink a straight
cereal and
glass of
stuff.
milk.
Yeah, but I don't drink straight up milk.
Lots of people do.
It's
My wife also believes that people who drink milk are disgusting.
And then about like another, like kind of on the roasting side of things is, you know, about every 2 years we go through this cycle where I will get like a little thing of milk from the gas station to drink. And he's like, Taryn, you don't like milk. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I do. And I vehemently
How dare you,
insist
sir?
that I do. And I take like a sip and I'm like, oh, wait, you were right. I don't like drinking milk.
I love milk.
Place you're getting the milk from.
Like the gas station.
No, the grocery store.
The grocery store is better.
Gas station milk is like, grocery store milk is like.
I mean, even when I've gotten it from the grocery store before, but
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm just saying, you might want to consider where you buy your milk, and that might change your opinion about how you drink
If you already don't like milk, getting gas station milk is probably reinforcing that.
Right. I would absolutely agree with that statement. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
I guess you know your
Anderson area.
assignment this weekend is to go to the grocery store and actually get milk. At the
No, because then I'd have to drink milk, and I don't want to.
They come in different sizes. You can.
Yeah. Maybe one of the glass.
Like a shot.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just gonna go into like Joe's place and just be like, one shot at 2%, please.
milk.
When I was an undergrad, one of my friends was the Iowa Dairy Princess, and we went to one of the bars downtown. And so she wanted to buy a round, and so she actually brought milk in, unbeknownst to the rest of us. And she goes, "I'm going to buy this round." And she bought the round, and they came out with pitchers of milk.
Awesome.
Was her buying the round?
Nice.
And we all drank it.
I love
because
that.
we'd already been having rounds before then. But
That sounds like a danger.
Dairy Princess
It coats its
Bubba's
shoes. It
rounds of
relieves.
milk.
That's it.
It curdles.
Curdles.
Is more what I'm thinking.
Well, once it's down there, who cares? Now it's cheese.
Yeah. At that point in time, it didn't matter.
Yes, there are dairy princesses and queens in Iowa. There's also sweet corn queens and
You know, we have to organize a podcast trip to the state fair.
I think that'd be really fun.
I think that would be a lot of fun. And if we can, I've thought about this before, never had the wherewithal to make it happen. But I feel like if we did like a show from the state fair, that would be a lot of fun.
I think that'd be fun too.
Well,
and we
even
could
as an
probably
Iowan,
hook
I've
up
never
with UI Healthcare to get a spot of our own. So let's think about that.
What would Christine say that you never do?
Oh, yes.
I never. Oh, I don't know. I never shovel the driveway to her standards, her expectations. I definitely am a haphazard driveway shoveler. But again, this question it's not a great question because there's plenty of things that I don't do. I don't sword fight. I don't go to space. I mean, I think we should just play it.
Yep.
Number 6. One thing my person never does is be an insufferable asshole. Although he is sometimes occasionally a sufferable.
Just like at work.
She's not.
Oh gosh.
She's not. How should I interpret this, Jeff? How would you interpret this if you were me?
I think there's a compliment in there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm detecting. Yes. Like if you have to be an asshole, at least you're
sufferable.
Sufferable. You're not an insufferable one.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a term of affection. Like, if the dogs like jump on me first thing in the morning, and they have a gift for finding your bladder, it's like, oh, you're an asshole, but I love you. You're my asshole.
Fair.
And then there's also like, oh my gosh, I can't stand you. Like, you're just such a terrible person.
Okay.
So I think she's highlighting that she loves you.
She does say that I have a talent for making fun of people without making them feel bad.
I take that as a compliment.
I mean,
it depends where your values lie. I value that.
Okay.
She's pointing out that even at your worst moments, you're not the worst person.
Yeah.
Like,
so of all the 9 billion people on the planet,
you are not the worst.
one.
No.
Awesome.
But I'm sure a lot of them are insufferable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you're up there.
Okay.
There are a lot of insufferable people.
I'm at least at the bottom of the sufferable assholes.
We might even be in the
I
middle
could be
of
at the top,
insufferable.
but I don't want to. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that was our last question. I think we all did very well. I don't know if any of us won because I wasn't keeping track of that. Jeff, what do you think?
I think everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. Well said. That's our show. Jeff, thanks for being the host of the Just Married game.
Thank you.
Fallon, Taryn, Faith, thanks for being contestants today. And thank you also to Alan, Zach, Alex, and Christine for their parts and for allowing us to variously get a peek into your relationship and also roast you. And what kind of immediately divorced person would I be if I didn't thank you, Shortcoats, for making us part of your week? If you're new here and you like what you heard today, follow the show wherever fine podcasts are available, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. The show is made possible by a generous donation by Carver College of Medicine student government and ongoing support from the Writing and Humanities program. Our music is by Dr. Vox and Catmosphere. I'm Dave Etler saying don't let the bastards get you down. Talk to you in 1 week. Hi, Shortcoats. Look, life in medical education, life in America, life in the world is often difficult. And I often wish I could help. All I have is this podcast, but in my wildest dreams, you have the support you need to lead a life of your choosing. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and successful in whatever ways you define those words. So if you need support because you've experienced racism, discrimination, harassment, mental health crises, I want you to be able to get the help that you need. And so I'm going to put some links in the show notes to some resources that you can use. But the bottom line is that for what it's worth, I see you. I know you're out there. I wish I could do more. Maybe I can in ways that I don't understand yet or know about. But I see you, and I'm glad you're here, and other people are too. This Shortcode podcast is a proud member of the MedEd Media Network. Inspiration, information, and guidance on your journey to medical school and beyond at mededmedia.com.